Good morning. No, it's good afternoon. I was going to say good morning, Vietnam, but it is afternoon. It is noon Eastern Standard Time. Maybe it's definitely morning if you're from Chicago or anything else. But I'm Dominic D'Angelo of AdFreeShows.com, SEScoops.com, and BrassRingMedia.com. Check it out. But I'm here. Flying solo for the time being. Robert should be here any moment. But I'm here for Rumor and Innuendo. Talk a little bit of wrestling. We're going to preview SmackDown. We got some other talking points to have as well before we close out the weekend here, which kind of been basically a tepid wrestling week. Not a whole lot of crazy news or anything like that. I recorded with Rob Van Dam last night, and I was really strapped for topics to cover. I really had to do some digging, and but me and Rob had a great show. We went 2 hours. We covered a lot of great ground. Rob talked about this really defining moment for ECW with him. Won't spoil it, but I thought it was a really, really fascinating story about what Paul Heyman had to say to him on one of the most pivotal moments in ECW history. So pretty cool there. And then on top of it too, we talked about funny story with him being overseas, getting kicked out of a bar, and then what was another? Oh, he dispels a major pro wrestling myth. So it will be available on Monday. If you're a RVD TV member, you can watch the full stream now, but sign up at rvdtv.com, or you can go to RVD's YouTube channel. It's already up there. So I don't have control of that one. But let's see how folks in the chat. Triple E says, "What's up?" Johnny Disco says, "Happy Friday, R&I." Wrestling Old Head says, "Happy Friday, everyone. Good after morning." That's right. You said it better than I did. Johnny Disco, it's still morning for me. See, it's still morning for Johnny Disco. Good. Huge news out of the Ring of Honor taping. Did you happen to hear about the former WWE star that debuted? Uh-oh. Who debuted on ROH? Who debuted? Devin Dowling says, "Hey, yo. Shannon Moore." What? No way. That's awesome. I love Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore is great. Had him on Road Dogg a couple of years ago. Man, what a great positive story that he is. Hey, speaking of positive stories, boom, Mr. Robert Karpelis is in the house. How are you, man? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday.
Yes. I just got the news that Shannon Moore actually debuted on ROH last night.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? I love Shannon Moore. He's such a great person, and really
makes
cool
sense. Florida guy.
Yeah, right.
I know he's based down here, so would love to see Shannon Moore flourish a little bit. Happy to be flourishing myself here for this week. I missed yesterday. Glad I'm back today. Charging forward. Should be good going forward.
Hey, yes. How was your Yom Kippur? Good?
It's not that kind of holiday.
I know it's not like I was trying to reserve myself to say Happy Yom Kippur because
it was the perfect look. It's a nice day of self-reflection and atonement and tempering how you respond to things and looking at the best in the world. And then I see the news that Andrade returned on Dynamite. I'm like, you're really testing me here, guys. That and the Hangman Adam Page Samoa Joe match that we were joking like, boy, if they get really lazy, they'll probably just do Hangman and Joe. And here we are.
Here we are, Robert. Yeah, why don't you give your quick thoughts on some Dynamite aspects? Yeah, Samoa, I like it. I mean, I think they can do some stuff with it and make it intriguing, but at the same time, too, it's just like a fill in the gap kind of thing for the champion.
That's what it is. That the biggest issue I have with it, and I'm going to get into this a little further with Scott Chaplin. He and I are recording at 2:00 today on Friday for. My God, I just forgot the name of the damn podcast. Working Stiff. I keep trying to not call it Wrestle Roast. I missed Wrestle Roast. It was a good name. But yeah, so the biggest takeaway that I had from that is you're charging this full boat pricing. I'm going to keep harping on it every time, and it's going to be a broken record, and that's fine. You're charging a full price for a pay-per-view, and you're not really giving people that sort of large value that I would justify and say, all right, if you're going to charge that $40 price tag on Max or $50 or whatever it may be, your main event match better be a really well thought out, highly contemplated contest. Instead, it's Joe and Hangman Page, which will be a great match, but absolutely feels like an afterthought. And you can't do that to your audience. I don't think that that's necessarily fair. And I know people are going to say WWE does it. The WWE price point is a significantly lower price point. And even if you want to bandy about that $30 a month cost, the reality is, because now that I've actually signed up for the damn thing, when you get it bundled with Disney Plus and Hulu and Jimmy Kimmel's Back, you can get all that and you're going to be okay. And you're not going to upend society. It's that you're getting all that for, I think, like $30 a month. So it's not like you're spending an inordinate amount of money for one streaming service and all it's giving you is a one-off WWE show. There's a lot of other content on there. And on the AEW side, I kept saying, like, boy, I really hope they deliver something meaningful and significant for this Wrestle Dream show. And instead, it's a nice match that doesn't feel like a main event.
Where else would you have gone, though, I guess?
And that was kind of what I kept saying nervously all along. I mean, if in reality, in similar vein, I could have seen a world where they pivoted to the demand and they had Ricochet going up against Hangman Page. At least it's a heel, who has been a heel, who has now earned that shot. He's been, working his way up as a single star. He's built a stable. They beat the Hurt Syndicate. This guy's got a little momentum, and you're going to get a great back and forth match.
Right.
Instead, you're getting babyface versus quasi babyface in a very muddled kind of story where they're all on the same page, they're all singing from the same sheet of music, and then all of a sudden after they're like, well, now I don't like you and you don't like me, and now we're going to go wrestle. And I'm like, I don't know. That to me felt a little less than. And there are some people who are going to say Hangman versus Ricochet may have been lesser than, but I would argue they had been building Ricochet up. And if there was a direction, if they knew where this was going, you could have been leveraging that this whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
And thankfully, the Don Callis family added another member because Lord knows they just didn't have enough. Two new. Well, we don't know. We know for sure Andrade is aligned with them. I don't know that that's really hologram. That could be the evil hologram doppelganger from an alternate dimension. I don't know if alternate dimension members count as full-fledged members of the Don Callis family.
Robert, did you hear the sound effects that went on after he showed up during Kyle Fletcher's theme? It was like the glitches were going on. It's clearly the Bizarro hologram.
Here's to Tony Khan for trying to do storylines. Like it's sure. Also, what's weird is, so the Young Bucks, they had him get the money back and everything's okay, and then they lose the money at the casino, at the beautiful Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. And then they're back to being the broke Bucks again. And then it looked like they were almost going to turn them babyface and join up with Kenny. At the one time you need the Young Bucks to be a full-fledged heel monster team, where you have the tag team champions, Brodito, who need challengers. You have Jurassic Express, who are babyfaces who need challengers. And now you're going to tease turning the Young Bucks babyface again.
Look,
I
gave Dynamite a C-, but you're even convinced me to give it a little bit lower.
And I enjoyed a lot of the show, but it's, again, you ask a couple of these questions, and I'm sure when I do it with Scott Chaplin, I'm going to get the belly aching of, come on, you don't know what you're talking about. WWE stinks. But it doesn't stink. We got SmackDown tonight from beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio.
Home of Dean Ambrose. Do you remember that guy?
No.
Oh.
Was he the third guy in the Shield?
I think so. No, that's Kurt Angle, Robert.
That's right. That was Kurt Angle. But it looks like we're going to get Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Correct, Robert. That's a reunition.
Reunition. It's the reunition. Thanks, Briscoe. By the way, bless Mark Briscoe's heart. I'm trying not to bury Dynamite, but bless Mark Briscoe's heart for saying that promo on Dynamite last night to try to make the booking make sense. I know. I beat MJF, so I should have been number one in line to take on Kyle Fletcher. But I know it went to Hologram. And then I know Hologram went down with an injury. So now it's Orange Cassidy. And I'm cool with it. And this is great.
Yeah, you tried.
He's setting up a heel turn he didn't even know he was a part of.
That's exactly it. Yes, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton forming a reunion, a legacy reunion to go up against the Vision. Robert, would tonight be the night that we see Randy Orton turn heel against Cody Rhodes?
I mean, I, I don't know if this is when you necessarily pull that trigger just yet. I think you
Mhm.
can tease a little bit of it.
Okay.
Give another sorry, the fine friends at Verizon Wireless were texting me.
Oh, aren't they
Uh
lovely?
Notify me they've processed my payment. Thrilling.
Wonderful.
Um we know that there's the Crown Jewel PLE event coming up where it's Seth Rollins versus Cody.
Mhm.
So you don't necessarily need to turn Orton just yet. You can turn Orton, quite frankly, at Crown Jewel, and that be the
Yeah.
reason that Cody loses, and then you move to a Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton match at Survivor Series, and still free up the Vision and Brock Lesnar for War Games.
Right. Yeah. Which would be great, I think.
I think that'll be great. Yeah, I think you can absolutely get there, and I think the fact that we're getting this Drew McIntyre Jacob Fatu feud is most likely going to lead to them potentially being plugged into War Games.
Yeah, and that would make a lot of sense as well. Hey, what's been making sense is that United States Championship Open Challenge. Sami Zayn will be doing that again tonight as he takes on a wrestler named TBA. Do you know who TBA is, Robert?
Um, what's I wonder if he was part of. There was a tag team that I created years ago in a company we don't talk about with Jason Cade and Wheeler Yuta.
Mm.
They were called Team TBD,
Oh, okay.
which ultimately turned into them being the best duo.
Okay. So
But
this could be the best alliance, perhaps?
the best athlete.
Oh, there you go. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know. Maybe they use this to bleed into that TNA NXT war that's going on, that's coming up. Maybe this is a chance to further the Miz and Carmelo storyline here. Maybe Miz answers the Sami Zayn Open Challenge. Maybe this is a way to bring back Solo. Don't know.
I would.
Maybe it's which is the one from Pretty Deadly who's still on the roster?
Oh God,
Who's not still
Elton
on the roster
Prince.
but isn't hurt?
Elton Prince, is that the one?
The guy who's doing the anti-toxic masculinity thing.
I'm not sure which one that is. Actually, I forgot about Pretty Deadly. That's sad.
Well, they've
Sad.
been because one of them's been hurt and the other one's been doing the sitting around gimmick.
It's
Um,
sitting.
oh, actually, never mind. It just says I realized your note said Damian Priest in action,
Mhm.
so it could be Priest taking on the Pretty Deadly guy. Dre Owens hypothesizing that
Ooh.
Obafemi may be getting the U.S. title shot.
Oh, could we see Oba?
I know there are people who are thinking that. I
Yeah.
would be hesitant to do that simply because introducing him in that role without a clear direction
Mhm.
is tricky. You put him on because you put him on SmackDown. Is he a heel? Is he a babyface? If he's a heel, then why do we have Solo and the My Family Tree guys floating around there? If
Right.
he's a babyface, why do I have Jacob Fatu floating around there? He's hewing too close to either one of them. I really think Obafemi's value is more on Raw and potentially being the guy to go after Dominic Mysterio.
And you know what? Like, I think too, if you follow up NXT guy with another NXT guy too, at the same, like in 2 weeks, I don't think that adds the intrigue as much as it typically would. I think if you leaned into the aspect, oh, a TNA guy shows up to challenge Sami Zayn, now that might be pretty cool if you can do that, pull that off.
It could be. Look, I'd love to
Mhm.
see throw Moose out there. I love Moose. Moose is
Oh,
great. We had him
yeah.
as part of a BRCW show. Took on James Ellsworth, and my kids loved Moose.
Very fun name to chant.
That's what it was. My son loved chanting Moose.
Yes. Well, a
It
name like
was
Moose, you can't
it
go
was a
wrong.
blast for him. And and Tiffany Stratton's going to appear, so that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
she's not wrestling.
Don't. Yeah. She's not on the card to do that. She just appeared as. So it says. Well, it'll be an interesting SmackDown to close out this Friday. I was saying before you got on, Robert, it's been a pretty slow wrestling week when news comes around. But nothing's really been popping. So
That's that's kind of good in wrestling sometimes. We
Mhm.
get into these situations where there's too many stories coming and none of them are particularly great. I find it funny. I've been dealing with the text thread for my working stiff friends. We've been talking a lot about that Saudi comedy show
Yes.
and the backlash that people are getting, and then people try to like noodle me about like, well, look at what happened with like the WWE, and I'm like, yeah, those are different levels
Different.
of how we view them. Nobody thinks there's ethics in wrestling. Nobody thinks any of those people are particularly ethical or laudable or heroic in any form or fashion. A lot of those comedians are held to a different, somewhat higher standard. And then you see this, and it's like, yeah. But I think we're going to continue to see that. I think they're doing that Tom Brady flag football thing there, and they bought EA Sports, so I think they now own the ghost of John Madden.
My God.
I don't know what a halal turducken would look like, but we're going to find out.
Robert, would you take a Saudi powered Madden that's a lot better than what they've been over the past few years if it's under Saudi rule, under Saudi watch? Would you take a better Madden game?
I found myself in the trap of getting the NFL. I got Madden football last year because I got when they brought back the college football game, and it was like a bundle. I was like, all right, I'll make that work. I think I played it like twice. And then I was like, I'm a grown ass man. I don't know if that's a waste of money. And speaking of a waste of money, looks like there's a story about our good friend Rusev.
Yes, man, what a segue.
Yes,
according to Dave Meltzer, friend of the show, happened to say the following on Wrestling Observer Radio about Miro, aka Rusev. According to him and Tony Khan, this was the most ill-spent money Tony Khan probably ever did, or among them. I shouldn't say the most, but among them, that was one. Because it's like this guy wouldn't do anything in AEW, and then he goes to WWE, and he's putting over Dominic, you know? I mean, he wouldn't put over guys twice as good as Dominic in AEW. That's subjective, Dave, I would say, twice as good as Dominic. How are you weighing that out? And yeah, is that Tony's his biggest mistakes? I don't think so, Robert. Do you?
I think Rusev was one of his biggest mistakes because he had an opportunity with Rusev and Malachi Black or Aleister Black, however you want to call him, to plant a flag and send a message. Mm-hmm. And it was something that during the Monday Night War, Vince was very cognizant of doing, more so than Bischoff. Bischoff would take a wholly formed character and plug him into Nitro and sink or swim. Like it was just, all right, we bought the big boss man. He's going to go out there. He's going to have 10 different gimmicks. When Boss Man goes back to WWF, now we're going to make him a main event level threat.
Yeah.
That was what Tony Khan really had an opportunity to do in a very strong strategic way, which was take the three underutilized guys, being Andrade, Malachi Black, and Rusev, and make them the main event threats that we always thought that they should have been in WWE. And then you're sending a message to that WWE locker room. Hey, are you a guy that's not really being used to your highest and best potential? Are you a guy who feels that you have something creatively to give that you're unable to give? Do you feel like you're not being able to deliver the best kind of matches that you want? Do you feel like you should be a world champion? Come on over here to AEW. We're going to give you those opportunities to shine.
Right.
And almost be a laboratory like what Paul Heyman had created in ECW. There was, I think it was JBL was talking about this, of like the top guys that WCW squandered. And two of the names in that list he mentioned were Foley and Austin, and said Foley and Austin both found ways to thrive in ECW.
Right.
Where it's, give me a camera, I'm going to cut you a promo. Give me a match, give me an opponent, I'm going to give you a great match, and I'm going to develop who I am. And if AEW was able to be that place and create those opportunities, I think you would have seen more guys jump, because it's a lighter work schedule. It's more of a guaranteed pay and a chance to write your own ticket. That was where AEW was the biggest threat to WWE. But then when you see all three of those guys leave and go to WWE, and whether or not they've found that same level of success, I think they realize the grass isn't necessarily greener. That's why you're going to get a more flexible Rusev, who at least feels like there's a plan. There's a vision, for lack of a better term, for me, where I am over here, and I can either, I'm going to be as happy or happier making really good money versus being in AEW and feeling like I'm spinning my wheels.
Right. I think from the Meltzer perspective of it, though, I'm saying that I don't think it's his biggest mistake because he's making it seem like it's all Rusev's fault that he didn't flourish. When as like no, I think Tony fumbled Rusev, like what you're saying. I think it didn't work out because he wasn't made the most out of at that
I
time.
mean, the Andrade piece is interesting
Mm-hmm.
because it was, I mean, Wrestling Observer, same as he was quick to point out, like, hey, Andrade was dismissed from WWE for disciplinary matters, including apparently failed drug tests,
Several, yeah.
wellness policy violations, and then lack of communication and unreliability and all the things Jim Ross likes to hem and haw about. So for him to jump back so quickly with this spectra of, was Andrade testing positive for something? Was he not a great behavior case? AEW has not necessarily done great with those type of guys. We're now first seeing Sammy Guevara getting used for the first time in years. We're now first seeing Jack Perry be used in a more consistent basis. It's an interesting time, 6 years in, for our friends at All Elite Wrestling. And there's another story you got here. Bully Ray on Seth.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
God, I haven't read the quote. It's a Bully Ray quote, so I'm just going to kind of
All right, so it's about
prepare
emotional
myself.
connection. It's about emotional connection here with Bully Ray. He mentions 3 stars. I think 2 of at least were CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. He says all 3 of those guys have a unique emotional connection. Emotion, that's all this effing business is about. The emotional manipulation of the fan base is how you can get them to love you or hate you anymore. That's it. Seth doesn't have that level of emotion yet, and he's been around for a long time. You're not as quick to say, is pro wrestler as you were with the other 3. This is as microscopic nuance as the emotional connection to Seth where you see the get ups every week. It's almost like he's trying so hard. Forget about how I feel about the suit. Cody wears a suit. He says, oh, Roman's the other one. Roman could be walking into a gym or a grocery store, and Punk looks like your regular everyday guy. They could be wearing those clothes anywhere. Seth is putting his garb to go stand at in the middle of the ring. He's putting Seth Rollins on a Monday night and taking it off on Tuesday morning. I think that's a pretty fair assessment, though, from Bully Ray. But what do you kind of think on that, Robert?
It is, because Seth is he's neither hide nor hair, which is a term I use quite a bit on this show, but that's fine. He's he's the flashy guy who wears the ridiculous over the top outfits like he's David Byrne. He's also the guy who is the torchbearer for the future of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the guy who feels that he didn't get respect for being the sole company man when everybody else left. Uh, he's also a manipulative architect of evil. Too many things.
That's a lot.
And it is harder to connect with it. Like, Cody was that as well. His benefit now is we've taken this sort of emotional journey with him as a person. Roman, it took forever to get to that point where there's an emotional connection with him. Punk was groundswell. Punk was the Ring of Honor kid, came from the Indies, fought to get his way onto the main roster, and then nobody wanted to give him a chance, and he finally did. Ironically enough, that was a lot of Seth Rollins. I saw Tyler Black wrestle in a high school gymnasium.
Yeah.
And you see him here, and it's like you think of him as the corporate guy, and like, no, he's very much the indie guy. He's the guy who toiled in FCW
Mm-hmm.
to make it where he is now. But he's playing a character, and there are certain wrestlers who, yeah, they're playing a character, and that's okay. Seth has never really been given the 1A spot. This is
No.
sort of the first time he's been top heel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of a mixed bag. And I think part of that mixed bag is because the opponent has been a little bit of a challenge for him, and finding that singular narrative. We've talked about some of the hiccups of the Vision of late, but I think that they'll find a way to kind of right the ship a little bit, and we'll see where Seth goes coming out of Crown Jewel. It feels like we're going to get to War Games. It'll be another round of CM Punk stuff.
It'll be
But
a big spotlight moment, chance for Seth after Crown Jewel takes place. How they come out of all that, and this will be his sink or swim kind of moment. I think in a lot of ways, how this gimmick angle, whatever you want to call it, how they're positioning him will turn out. I think it's going to be really key here.
yeah, I think the challenge is there's not a dream opponent that we desperately want to see him face.
That's it too. Mm-hmm.
He's been around for a while. He's wrestled almost everybody. There's not like a man. I would love to see Seth Rollins versus blank.
Yeah, there isn't. There isn't right now.
Which is a little tough. What's not a little tough is that it's almost the weekend, and I will be in beautiful Gainesville, Florida, cheering on my Florida Gators against the Texas Longhorns. So that'll be a blast.
You're going to be there.
I will be. Oh, it is my pilgrimage of the year to beautiful Gainesville, Florida. I'm very, very excited. But I will be back, as will Mr. Dominic D'Angelo, on Monday. You can catch us on a plethora of platforms, including the WW_Creative_ISH X account, the @SE_Scoops X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo and ad-free shows. So on behalf of the man with the best clipped-on microphone in all of wrestling podcasting, Mr. Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
The man on the beat, on the streets.